We were prepared, and as everyone was, with our little plan for pandemics with SARS and so forth. And we pulled together our first meeting on the 6th of February. And I think then we've had to be really agile and flexible.
It's definitely defined 2020. If you could tell me a bit more about how this recent pandemic has transformed practices at the legal department at Coca-Cola.
No, my team is absolutely front and center in that because, among other things, we manage the IMT, the incident management teams. So for this, it's clearly got incident management teams at business unit level coordinating with the EU incident management team. And we work very closely together with a range of people across all sorts of expertises, and the team has really used its great project management skills, its great knowledge of the business to bring everybody together and get rapid, agile solutions.
You made a really interesting point when you said in the past we're preparing for other pandemics, that it was very much a paper plan. I guess this is the first time where you've got to test those plans. Is it too soon to ask, how'd you go? What did you learn?
What went really well for us was that we put in place the right frameworks. So it's hard to make all the right decisions all the time, but what we did was we had our incident management teams. They responded into the exec team, which I sit on, and we also had weekly board calls to make sure the board was kept informed and helped us drive this in the right direction and brought the intelligent oversight and experience from elsewhere. So I think that all went pretty well, actually. And in terms of looking after our people, we have also been making sure that there's regular calls and check-ins, and we've had the CEO giving regular calls to everybody. I think it's really important to think about all the rights around keeping people safe, because under GDPR, of course, people's data about their health is particularly sensitive, and despite the GDPR, there are different approaches to that across Europe, and some of them are much more strict than others. In France, for example, it's absolutely the rule that we would not be able to collect any data about people's health, including their temperature. So what we did was think through, what is our goal here? Our goal here is to make sure that we don't have people with a temperature coming into the factory. People are all very responsible. So if you put the thermal imaging camera in place, but you have it self-operated, then that has a couple of benefits. One is that you comply with GDPR, because the only person who knows whether there's a temperature or not, or what their health data is the person themselves. And we rely on them to use their common sense and intelligence to go home.
Looking over 14 different jurisdictions, and then the rise of new legislation popping up across all those jurisdictions, it's just exhausting asking the question. But how are you managing that? Because I guess the pace is almost unprecedented. We haven't seen this much legislation come out in such a short period of time.
So what we did was we had a regular report coming in on a business unit level, which is then consolidated at the EU IMT level, and that comes into a RAG-coded report, so red, amber, green, under headings, because there was a lot of legislation going on, but it was generally on the same sorts of topics. So about health, about lockdown, about requirement to use PPE, about sometimes handing over PPE. It was very much something we could start getting a handle on by organising it and saying, right, by country, what do we have to do? And then we overlay that by what do we think the right thing is to do, and how do we manage that coherently across the piece.
How would you generally describe the role of in-house counsel during times of crisis?
I think the key thing for in-house counsel is to be calm, to help manage the crisis by pulling together all the necessary information and synthesizing it and helping good decisions get made. We provide the framework, we provide the calm center that makes this all work. And it's incredibly important that we do that in a way that is agile, is intelligent, is sensible, and which makes the business work better. I mean, to be fair, in the middle of this crisis, we have to be very aware that this is a really tough time for a lot of people. And we have to understand that and respond to that. But we also need to make sure that we stay sane in the middle of it. And that means giving yourself some time with your family, with your favorite hobby, whatever it is, to just center yourself